All right. Hiya.
Do this.
Camera's ready. Hey everybody, welcome to the stream. Oh, that jumped up quickly. I was like, oh, the countdown almost finished. There's like 2 people here. There is not. There are a lot more. Hey everyone, welcome to the stream. I'll introduce you to our guests in a second. But welcome. This will be a kind of a stream that's more similar to Escape This Podcast because it's just an escape room. It's not like all the other stuff we do on this Twitch channel. This is a Twitch throwback to our last season, effectively. We are doing a room that we are playing. We didn't design this room. It was designed by some other people who you'll meet in a second. We're going to play through that escape room. We've got our pens and paper and everything ready. And it's going to be just, you know what it's, if you know us, so you know what the format is like. But we'll do it on Twitch instead.
Just to say, Billy, you have pen. I have pens.
I have yeah, but mine's a new pen. I just got this out of the packet. What am I preparing for? It running out of ink? That would just be a bad pen. So welcome to the stream. I'm going to swap us over in a second to a slightly different layout so you can see our Discord conversation. And we can introduce the people who are here to run our game. So here we go. Boop. Slightly different layout. Look at that. So welcome to the stream, Jamie and Mark. Hi.
Would you like to...
Hello.
Yeah, and would you like to tell us a little bit about you and your escape
you know
rooms?
what? You know what? I gotta crank this thing. Hold on.
Oh, yeah?
Oh no.
Crank?
Pow. Say hello again.
Hello.
Hello again.
That looks a little bit better. I'm so used to having the game volume very low, so we're gonna, but that's now the conversation volume. So I think that's probably gonna be better. Yeah, brilliant. Okay. Yeah. So do you want to give a rundown of what game we're playing today?
Yeah. Thank you so much for having us. We're excited to be
Yeah,
here.
of course. And of course, like, tell everyone about you and your business and just plug yourselves.
No, how dare you? No one should know.
Yes, we are from Trapped Puzzle Rooms. We are an escape room company, or interactive experience puzzle company, really, at this point.
It can just be an escape room company.
In Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'm Jamie. I'm one of the co-founders of Trapped, and I'm also here with Mark, who designed the room you're about to play and has designed many, many experiences for us. Mark, you want to introduce yourself?
That's me. I'm Mark. Yeah, I do a lot of designing for Trapped, running events, things like that. I've designed a lot of our audio experiences, including the one we're going to play today. Yeah, I love puzzles, games, all that sort of stuff, and I'm excited to see how Herbert's Laboratory goes today for both of you. This is going to be great.
Yeah, I'm excited. Now, the big worry is I am so now into, like, podcast escape room mode.
Editing is a thing you can do?
No, not even that. It's about performance, right? I have such tendency, like, podcasting is always, like, audio only for me. So I'm gonna just be shut down completely. Like. I'm gonna be just like ignore. I was already in like my normal mode. That as soon as you started talking, I just looked away and started drawing and taking notes and doing all this. Just like I'm listening. I just don't need to look or pay. But that just seems like I'm ignoring everybody. For the chat.
Sorry, I will say quickly. I did another live stream like this where I was on video the whole time, and I had forgotten that because of the exact same thing you're talking about. And I was like nodding as the people were solving the puzzle, and they were like, "Are we on the right track?" Oh, he's nodding, so we must be. And I was like, "Oh no, I just gave it away." So that was, yeah, I completely understand.
I do that every time I GM as well, except I don't mind it so much. I like it when people use either my complete lack of poker face or my face to help them solve puzzles.
For people in the chat,
well, yeah, we're gonna need to talk some logistics.
We're gonna have to. Yeah, right. See, I can just duck out of frame in Skype. For people in the chat, we're gonna try and do. We don't want you to spoil. Like, if you solve puzzles, we don't want you to tell us that you've solved them, right? So we don't want to not have to look at chat. We want to be able to interact with you as we go, but try not to solve puzzles and spoil things for us.
If you've got something, maybe just say, haha, got it.
Yeah, if you want to say that you've got it, you can. If we ask the chat, if you think in the chat you can give us hints, we might ask you occasionally. But try not to
only
give us
if we
hints if we don't ask. Which means as well, if new people arrive, then and who might not know this, if people start saying stuff in the chat like,
Ooh, that's interesting.
tell them.
Is it possible to do emote only?
Emote only.
Do you know how to make that a thing?
Oh, can I set the chat to emote only? I don't even know if I want to.
That's you still
I
might
could
want...
set the chat to emote only, but I think I'm going to trust you at first.
Okay, well,
Just don't spoil it
trust
for
you
me.
for now.
I'm going to trust you so you can make fun jokes and talk and be
Besides,
cool.
you don't want to spoil it for us. You want to see us struggle, right? Like, I mean...
But yeah, so just giving you the heads up. Also, I don't know if Mark or Jamie...
Oh, you can make fun of us.
Oh, yeah, make fun of us all you want.
We may make fun of you right back.
Yeah, Mark and Jamie, I don't know if you want to also see or be part of the chat as well. You can go to Twitch and join in. Otherwise,
I pulled it up already.
Brilliant.
I'm following along. So yes.
Yeah, a normal stream, exactly.
Fantastic.
Brilliant. All right, so I think everyone in the chat knows what's going on. I think we know what's going on.
I don't. I'm afraid I need a bathroom break. Just.
Oh, Danny's leaving. Danny's given up.
Storming out.
I was thinking that if you change the chat to emote only, it would just be an added challenge for the chat to send you hints via emotes.
Well, yeah, I mean that is a fair thing to do, right? At that point, they can try and hint as much as they want. But I think we'll leave it on text for the moment, unless they break our trust. If they break our trust, we'll have to put them on emotes. They'll have an emote timeout. But yeah, also of course in the chat, if there's anything. Exactly. We're going to have to solve the emote puzzle. If there's anything in that, like if you're having trouble hearing stuff, or if there's something that you can't see easily, let me know. Hopefully, it should all work out pretty well. But this is the first time we've done this type of stream, so hopefully there won't be any, but there might be tiny technical issues. Just let us know if there's anything weird about it. I think are you finally ready to start, Danny? Gosh. We've been waiting for hours.
Now I've got to wait for my hands to dry properly so that I can pick up my notebook again.
Just dry your hands. Can you even... What do you get... You've got a chair on me. Good.
Okay.
Okay, are you ready?
I'm in.
You good? You've got a notebook for a face? Great. All right. Well, I think we're ready to go. If
Do I have
you
a
guys
notebook for a face?
Well, you're holding your notebook up, so you have a notebook for a face. I think we're ready to go.
I think so.
That we should be. If we're happy to get into it, I'll follow your lead, Mark.
That sounds great. I will go ahead and mute myself now, and Mark can take it away.
Perfect. Well, let's dive into some Herbert's Laboratory. I know the two of you are veteran escape room solvers, so I won't go through all the normal spiel, but you are free to do and think of anything you come up with here. I know you both like to play around in the space, and I highly encourage it. That is also a ton of fun for me as well, so I look forward to that. Danny, I know you don't like improv. I actually have a background in improv, so
I was
try
going
to throw
to
me
comment.
a curveball. Yep. Yeah, I've got a background in history, or not history, theater, and mathematics, and puzzles and games, and all that stuff. So
That's a good
try and
combo.
throw me off my game. That's half of the fun.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I think that's it.
All right, I'll jump across to this text channel, shall I?
Yeah, perfect. Yes.
Welcome to Herbert's Lab.
Fly. Shh.
Yes. Here we go. You both receive a letter in the mail. It's addressed to you, but there's no return address. The envelope looks old and faded, and inside you find a short letter. It reads,
Ooh.
Greetings. I have discovered something that could change the very course of history. I wrote this letter in the event that I am unable to bring this invention to the world. If you are interested in helping to make the scientific discovery of this and every age, come to 3300 5th Street immediately. Yours truly, Herbert.
I don't even need to take notes because it's already here. There you
go.
I can just click on it whenever I want to read it again.
No, I'm making notes just in case. You never know.
All right. I've already
What was
discovered one problem I'm going to have,
Oh.
which is because I've set up this stream to cut off at this around here.
Yeah.
When I open the letter, perfect. Look at that. Everyone's happy.
Yeah.
When I open Herbert's Laboratory, oh no, slightly
Got
cut
a tiny
off.
bit.
Oh no.
But we'll figure
We'll
that
make it
out.
work.
If it's an issue, I'll fix it.
go.
I'll fix it on the fly if it's an issue.
Love it. Well, with your curiosity now piqued, you arrive at the address. It's a large abandoned building. The weather is starting to drizzle, threatening to turn into a full storm. You open the door, which you are surprised to find unlocked. As you step inside the dim building, you can smell a faint layer of grime and decay in the air. Dust covers the floor, betraying how long it's been since someone stepped foot inside. In this room, you can see a small garden overgrown with thick ivy, a blackboard, most of which is covered in complex mathematics, the remains of a brick furnace, a door frame filled with rubble from a collapsed room, a workbench, a large glass display case filled with clocks, a wooden wardrobe, a winch connected to a rope and pulley system, an outdated and rusted machine, and an intricate archway.
Oh man, I don't need these notes at all. I'm just putting my pen away. What am I even doing?
You don't get to make your cool drawings this time. I'm so sorry. You still can if you want.
I have drawn some drizzling clouds already.
Yes, perfect.
If I were me walking into a real escape room, first thing I would be doing is looking at that garden area, see if there's anything interesting to grab from it.
Yeah, you check the garden area in the corner. It's completely overgrown through years of being unattended to. There's these thick vines that kind of flood the area, and a subtle smell of decay. You do notice above the garden, there's a piece of the wall that's been chipped out, leaving a small crevice.
Yes.
Oh, I can see that here in this picture. Cool. Can we reach that crack?
You step into the garden and get on your tiptoes and reach up as high as you can, but it's about 15 to 16 feet in the air, so you're just a little short.
Just a little.
Just a touch.
Even I know I'm not 10 to 15 feet high. Alright, cool. Crack important.
And so the actual stuff that's in the garden, is there anything interesting if we dig around the plants and
Is it all just sort of death?
Yeah, it looks like there's kind of one large plant that's kind of overgrown. Looks very similar vines kind of surrounding there. You try to move it around a little bit, dig in the dirt a bit, but all you manage to do is get some dirty hands.
That'll be important for a puzzle later on.
Dirt hands.
Just keep an eye out for a riddle somewhere that says, "The cleanest hands can do no wrong, but only dirt will find the song." And we're looking for a song, and it's a whole big thing.
Perfect.
That's what we're doing. Cool. All right. What do you want to go to next?
Me. Read that blackboard, baby.
I will read the blackboard, baby.
The blackboard, it's a freestanding blackboard leaning up against the wall just a bit. There's no chalk that you can see here, but you do see that its surface is covered in a variety of mathematical equations that are too complex to understand. Off to one side, on the blackboard, you do see a small message that has nearly faded away. It says, "I got everything on your list. It should be in the wardrobe, Catherine."
Okay. Got everything on list.
Well, there is a wardrobe. That's lucky. And is that Catherine with a C or a K?
Catherine with a C.
But where?
Oh, where's the C? You can put it wherever you want.
You spelled it with a K. What are you... Oh, no. Catherine.
Catherine! All right. Would you want to check out the wardrobe?
I mean, it seems suspiciously logical to do so.
It's also just the next thing. Oh, wait. Hold on. Let's check the door.
The blue door that's down there?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this appears to be the door that you entered through. You open it up and still see the outside is kind of still drizzly. The rain's starting to come down a little bit.
Appears to be.
It appears
I don't trust
to be.
this place at all. Alright.
Cool. All right.
Wardrobe.
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 Wardrobe! There's a large wardrobe in the corner made of sturdy wood. There's these two large doors that swing open, and the doors are currently shut, and there's a small 3-digit lock installed in one of the doors. Next to the lock, there's a small plaque that's barely readable after years of disuse. It says, "From Catherine, so you will always remember."
Do you reckon there's anything we can do with the information we've got so far, or keep browsing?
Well, so there's something we got to... presumably something we need to remember will get that 3-digit lock open. But we don't have anything to remember.
As far as I know, we don't have anything to remember.
Oh, unless what's the 3-digit lock or the 3-digit code that represents having everything on a list? You know when you get everything on a list and you just text someone a quick 3-digit code so that they know that you have everything on their list?
477.
Yeah, that's it. You say, oh, 477 means I got everything on your list. Yep. Check the wardrobe. So maybe that's what it is.
Fair, that makes
Probably
sense.
Probably not,
though.
But... what do you want to look at now? I want to go to the middle of the room where that workbench is.
Yeah, I kind of want to steer sort of aiming towards the left. The stuff on the right looks too complicated for me just yet.
Yeah, that's too fancy.
I'm afraid to go there until I understand it better.
Well, let's check out this workbench.
Okay.
Sounds good. Let's check the workbench out. There's an ornate workbench here covered in dust. Beneath it, you do see a safe with 4 dials. On the surface, you see there's a few strange contraptions, but they appear to be nothing more than trinkets, kind of broken down over years of kind of just sitting there. Off to the side of the workbench, you also see there's a portrait of a woman prominently displayed.
It's probably Catherine. Can we have a closer look at that portrait?
Yeah, the portrait is, of a woman. The picture itself is colored with age, but the frame is still intact. Anything else you want to investigate with this portrait?
How malleable is this frame? Like, does it have anything that it can be popped open?
Yeah, can we open the frame?
You flip it over to try and open the frame, and you notice in the bottom corner there's a message scribed there that says, Catherine's 40th birthday, August 15th.
Nice.
Aha.
Sorry, my delays. I am drawing this portrait.
Now it's only a it is only a 3-digit lock, so it might be her birthday.
It might be.
Because so you always remember my birthday. Because if we had a year, that wouldn't help in terms of a 3-digit lock. So do you want to try to get into an American mindset and put 815 into that lock?
Give it a go.
We go to the wardrobe 3-digit lock. Can we try 815?
You dial an 815, and the doors are still locked shut.
All right, cool. Just in case, 158.
You put in 158, and now the doors pop open.
All right.
She's on our side.
Yeah.
Okay.
You open the wardrobe. On one side, you see a series of shelves, while the other is open with a bar at the top for hangers. There's 2 coats that hang here. They're both covered in dust and full of holes. The shelves, they're mostly barren, but there's a few old and outdated items that remain. Notably, you see one shelf has some very old foodstuffs that have gone bad over the years.
Lovely.
Behind the coats, you also notice there's a long metal rod leaning against the back of the wardrobe.
Okay.
All right. Can we take this rod? I wonder if that'll have something to do with machines and archways and things.
Maybe. Looks like a good poking rod.
You add the rod to your inventory. It's about 1 meter long with a spherical knob on one end and a recessed ring on the other.
A recess. Wait, what is a recess ring? I'm trying to visualize that, but I should probably make sure I'm visualizing the right thing.
Looks like it's a ring, but the metal part of it is kind of sunk in, so it's got kind of a spot you might be able to attach or wrap something around.
Gotcha.
All right.
Now I'm attempting to draw that, and it's not going well.
Okay, cool. So we've now got a fun little rod that'll hook to something and prod something on the other side. So the wardrobe, there's also a couple of coats and some old food.
Check the pockets of the manky old coats?
Yeah, let's check the pockets of the coats.
You reach your hand into the pockets of one of the coats and you feel something move. So you pull your hand out and you see a small little moth crawl out and fly away. Looks like these coats are now home to a family of moths.
Yay!
Okay, moth coats.
I am okay with that. I'm so sorry that you did that though, because now all my notes are just going to be covered in moths.
Okay, moth coats. We got hangers, some shells. Was there anything else I missed? Just some old
Rank
quality food.
Yep.
Well, I don't want to go digging through the old food yet.
Not right now.
Maybe wait till we have some reason.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, well, let's keep looking around the room, shall we?
Can I just double back to that workbench? You said that the safe had 4 dials on it?
Yes.
Is those like a number spinny thing for each of them?
Yeah, it looks like each of them spin between 0 through 9. They're kind of arranged horizontally on the front of the safe.
Yep, gotcha. Good. That is how I drew it.
Along
with the safe also has the word safe written in big letters on the front, right? Because that's also how I drew it.
Like every safe does, of course. That's,
I mean,
that's a given.
Otherwise, it's just a random square.
Exactly. Yep.
Cool. Do you want to check out some other stuff? Do you want to check out this furnace? This
the
busted
broken
furnace?
you head over to the corner, but the furnace there is barely recognizable. Most of it's kind of caved into this pile of bricks. You do notice there's still a chimney there that's loosely supported by a few pick points into the wall, but it's just kind of a big pile of bricks over here.
Okay.
All right. Well, we also passed this kind of collapsed door between the garden and the furnace. Is that anything interesting?
Yeah, it looks like the room beyond this is kind of collapsed in. You see some of the building materials have spilled through this open doorway. There's, again, some more bricks, some broken pieces of wood, but nothing really grabs your eye through here.
All right. That's probably why it doesn't have a label.
You don't know that.
I don't. Oh, well, we got just 3 more things to have a look at.
Yep.
Shall we continue clockwise and go via the clocks?
Yeah, clockwise. You're so funny. Yep.
Yeah, let's check out this shelf o' clocks.
This shelf of clocks, there's about a dozen clocks on display here behind a glass case. Each clock appears to be made of steel, intricately sculpted into a variety of shapes and sizes.
Nice.
And after observing them for a moment, it appears that all of these clocks have stopped functioning.
Interesting. Also,
Fabulous.
thanks for following, Jam Fasker. Okay, we got broken clocks.
Lovely.
Splash the wine with all the rain dogs.
Is it like a natural disaster where they all stopped at the same time, or are they all a bit different?
You take a closer look at the clocks, and you see this.
Oh no, get rid of the map.
Get out of here, you! Ooh, clocks. Can everybody see the clocks? Yeah, beautiful. Alright. Oh, okay. Clock, 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 clock,
They
clock.
do all look different.
Now, I will say one tiny thing that's jumped to my head first is that, like, if you look at each one as, like, columns-wise, it could be... If somehow we could, like, combine this top left, middle left, and bottom left into a single number, then this could get us a safe combo somehow.
That's interesting.
Or wait, or in general, a safe dial. Don't often dials, like if you think of a dial like a lock, right? Like a school kind of locker lock. You would rotate it between 3 numbers.
Having never actually used one of those locks in my regular everyday
But
life,
they very commonly would rotate, like, you go right to one number, left to the other, right
True.
to the other, right? So maybe these are what you do to each of the dials to open that safe.
Maybe.
We don't.
Is that what it looks like those dials would do? They're the ones where you would click them multiple times, or just a single time each?
They're a little larger. They look like they're just a single time each.
Okay.
There's a big indicator on the top, looking like that's where you're going to spend the number to.
Sweet.
Cool. But
I'm
as it
just
is, these.
writing out these numbers.
Yeah, so from top left going across, what are these? We've got 2 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 1 o'clock, I think, and 5 o'clock. Could be the numbers, could also be the shapes, but we don't really have anything that corresponds to this many numbers or particular shapes either.
Yeah, I do.
Right?
Like, I don't know if the shapes of the clocks are just decorative, but damn, do they look important.
Yeah, you're right. The clocks themselves have odd shapes too.
That's it. Like, if I see one that go, oh, that one looks like a hexagon, that one looks like an octagon, that makes sense. But then you got, like, the bottom left one.
Yeah, that looks
I can't do anything with that
like
yet.
a Rorschach test on legs with a little hat.
Exactly.
Cool. All right. Well, that's interesting. I don't really know how to input this anywhere or how to output this anywhere. So we got some clocks. We should keep looking around.
Well, that's why it's okay that they've all stopped, Louise. Otherwise, yeah, that would be a nightmare. That's why this room died.
Awesome. Okay. Well, shall we just keep looking at these last 2 things?
Yeah, make sure that we've seen everything.
Sounds good. We go machine or archway first?
Machine.
Sounds good. The machine has rusted due to age. There's this large glass vial that's shattered and many moving mechanisms and cogs that are rusted solid to the frame of the machine. There's at least 40 feet of cable, though, coiled by the machine that stretches and connects to the archway, but it looks like the end of the cable under the machine isn't connected to anything currently. It's just this frayed end of wires.
Interesting.
Okay, so broken down stuff. We've got a shattered glass vial with this frayed wire cable. Was there anything else of note there that I missed while I was writing the word cable?
Rust.
Rust.
A lot of rust.
Rust. Oh, well, let's check the archway. So hold on. The machine has this long cable. Mm-hmm. Is that the one that in the picture looks like it's connecting to the archway? Or no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can trace it all the way back. In fact, when we go to the archway, you see the there's the thick cable there that snakes across the floor is attached to the side of this archway there.
All right. Well, let's check out the rest of. Let's have a look at the archway in general.
It seems only natural.
Yeah. It's mostly metallic. There's wires and tubes running around its frame, and it's about the size of a large doorway, but nothing. Nothing really happening with it. It's just kind of hanging out in the It's moved out from the wall a little bit. It's a little strange.
Okay, so that's a clear interdimensional portal or teleporter.
You're going interdimensional teleport. I was going to ask time or space.
Oh, space.
I was going time.
You think time? You think we'll go back to this room before it was broken?
Everything's really rusty.
There are clocks as well and a dead garden.
Let's go. Let's play with a winch.
Yeah, the last thing we need to look at before we make real decisions.
I don't even think you look at winches. I think you go straight to tugging.
All right, Danny's pulling the winch.
You start moving. There's a little crank on it. Here, I've got a picture of the winch.
Danny has her eyes closed.
Don't know what a winch is. We got a little crank on it, and it moves this plate kind of up and down this rope and pulley system. Looks like on the plate there's a couple of brackets where you might be able to attach something. It looks like at the top, the rope kind of goes out the ceiling, or there's a little hole in the ceiling up there.
Do the brackets look like they would fit a 1 meter pole?
They sort of do, yeah.
Let's clunk it in.
Which end up?
Ooh, ball
the
up.
really the ball up, not the grabby end?
It's not a grabby end, it's a hooky end.
Yeah.
You hook something to it, it doesn't hook things.
Something could hook up to it.
All right.
There's a roof hole.
All right, we'll put the recessed hole up and then stick the thingy in there.
Excellent. You reluctantly put the sphere side on top and snap it into the plate. It fits like a glove.
Yeah, sphere side up. All right. Can we winch it up through the roof so it'll act like some kind of cool lightning rod?
Yeah, you operate the winch and it slowly moves and climbs up the wall. The plate stops just before the top of the ceiling. It looks like the rod sticks out the ceiling a good foot or so.
Okay.
Okay, gotta draw the roof of this building.
Oh, wait. I winch it back down.
You winch it back down. It comes back down.
Can I grab the cable that's attached to the archway that has nothing but frayed wires on one end and wrap those wires around the hooky part of this rod so that when it gets struck by lightning from the storm outside, power will go through the metal rod into the cable and power up the portal.
Okay, I see where you're going.
That's my plan.
This is what you want to do?
Yep.
Excellent. You head over to the machine and grab the heavy cable and drag it across the floor. It's a lot heavier than you imagined.
I'm super strong.
Oh, never mind. It's just effortless. You just whisk it across the floor, over to the winch, and then start wrapping those frayed ends of the wire on the bottom of that rod, and then start to winch it up. As you do, you know the storm outside is growing more intense. There's water beginning to drip into the space from holes in the roof. And after a few moments, you hear the crash of thunder, and then suddenly your makeshift lightning rod is struck, sending a surge of electricity down the wire and into the archway. In an instant, the archway flashes with this intense light. You peer through its frame to see another workshop beyond its gate. While your current workshop is dim and cold, partially due to neglect and partially the weather, the workshop beyond the gate is warm and bright. You can see a workbench in the middle of the room filled with strange contraptions, some of which are alive with motion.
All right, we'll step through into the same workbench, but workspace, but in the past.
Wait, we definitely
Sounds good.
Hey, it's Pizza Beth. Hi, Pizza Beth.
We
Welcome.
definitely looked at everything.
Oh, yeah, we looked at everything.
You never know. We might not be able to come
Let's
back
step
from
through
this.
the portal.
All right.
I'm going back in time.
I trust this mystery scientist.
You both step through the portal, and as you do, you get a strange sense of vertigo. This brighter warehouse has many of the same items as the one you started in, but the air in here is fresh, rather than stinking of decay. As you step through the archway, the dim warehouse behind you fades away. It does appear you're not able to return to where you came from.
Oh, well, game over.
In this new bright lab, you can now see the archway that you came through, a beautiful and intricate machine made of tubes and gears, a familiar set of clocks in a glass display case, a small brick furnace, a large garden that has been freshly planted, a blackboard, a wooden wardrobe, and a workbench covered in contraptions and books.
You also see a small plant full of cicadas. Oh, no. All right. So everything's fancy and lovely now. We're back in time.
I like that. Clocks! Clocks! I want clocks.
You chant Clocks, as you move over to the shelf of clocks. There's again a dozen clocks in display here inside a glass display case, and they look fairly familiar. And after observing them for a moment, it appears that all of these clocks have stopped functioning. So I can take a look.
Yeah.
Here is... Oh, hold on. Error. Here are the clocks.
All right.
Compare
They
these
are
times to the
slightly
times.
different.
So what were they before? Oh, yeah. Okay, so the 2 is the same.
Yeah.
And this was...
It was a 9.
It was a 9. Now it's a 3. That was a...
10.
Okay.
8. 1. 3.
Danny's writing these down.
4. 10. 7. 8. 5.
Now, how many are the same? I see that the 2, there's a 3 and a 5 that are the
Should I
same.
circle the sameys or the differenties?
Circle the same, because I think there's only 3 of them.
Okay. 2 is same. 3 is same. 7 is same.
Oh, okay, there's 4 that are the same.
Good.
Could that be for our safe then, perhaps?
That's a good fingers crossed, and they are like 1 per column.
Yeah, they are 1 per column. Maybe we'll
might
try
be a
that
thing.
in a second when we go back to the workbench. Let's try that.
We don't even know if the same safe is there
No,
in
I
this
can see it.
workbench.
See? You can see it in the picture.
They might have changed the combination.
Nah, who changes combinations?
Oh. All right. Well, yeah. If Jen's room that invoked a bit of time travel has sort of
Taught you anything?
taught me anything.
That's the end of that
Those
sentence.
are words.
Yep.
I've got to check the garden. We've got to check for
Alright.
suspicious plants.
Let's check the garden. Hey, you know what isn't here in this one? A big old crack in the roof above the garden.
Yeah.
Let's check the garden.
Sounds good. This garden looks to be freshly planted. There's a number of small sprouts with labels near them, easily 4 to 5 dozen. There's a spigot and a short hose here for watering the plants, as well as a small pile of bags filled with both dirt and fertilizer.
Maybe if we take care of these plants in the future, they'll be better.
Oh boy. Okay.
We fertilize and water the plants like good gardeners.
You rip open a couple bags of fertilizer. It's quite odorous. And spread it out throughout the garden. You give the plants a nice dash of water. They look very happy, at least as happy as you've seen plants be.
Wonderful. All right, that means when we go in the future, they'll be 8 feet tall. We can climb up and get to that crack in the wall. Let's check out. Let's go to the workbench.
Okay. Yeah, they're interesting devices now.
Yeah, they're interesting devices now.
On the workbench, there are a number of items. Beneath it, there is a small safe with 4 dials. On one side, you see a large bell jar with a small tree sapling beneath it. As you stare at the sapling for a moment, you swear you can see it sway slightly, as if blown by the wind of a summer storm. There's a chemistry setup along the main length of the workbench with a series of flasks and Bunsen burners arranged. And on the far side of the workbench, you see a portrait of a woman and a stack of books primarily on botany. And in the middle of the workbench, there's a page that appears to be torn from a chemistry book.
See, I gasped at something, and you said, yep,
Oh,
as
the
if we
botany
were
books?
thinking
Oh,
of the
well,
same
what are you
thing.
thinking? I'm thinking we should take that tree and plant the tree in the garden.
yeah,
because that's what's going to grow tall enough to let us into that crack.
You want to get into that crack? That wasn't what I was thinking at all. I was thinking, can I take a look at that portrait there? And maybe flick it around a bit, see how similar it is?
Yeah, you take a look at the portrait. It looks to be almost identical to the last one. There's a picture here looks to be fresh. The frame is intricately carved from steel, and as you examine the back of the picture, you see in the bottom corner a message that says, Catherine's 40th birthday, August 15th.
Okay.
All
I'm
right.
sure that hasn't changed.
It is the same picture then.
Cool.
Does this one open? We can't take this one apart, can we? Take the picture out?
Yeah, you could. Yeah, the back there's a couple those little foldy downy metal bits that you can kind of bend up and take out. The picture in here looks fresh. But you don't see writing on the back or any secret message inside.
Cool.
Well, here's an interesting test for the future. Can I take out a marker and draw a fake moustache on her face? Look, that got us a follow. So therefore, it must have been a good idea.
Famously always bringing a marker with you in your pocket. Pull it out.
No, he's using his dirt hands.
Oh, yes, the dirt hands! They're paying off!
Sounds good. You rub your dirt hands all over the painting to make a very large handlebar mustache.
Great. So now when we go to the future, if the old painting or the new painting has a dirt moustache, we'll know that we're affecting the future.
Okay, that's fair.
We'll have already known about all the other stuff that'll happen, but that's also a test.
Cool. All right. Anything else at this bench that you want to look at?
I just want to quickly plant the tree
Oh, okay.
in the garden. I want to get the fertilizer and the water, and I want
No.
to plant the sapling in the garden.
It's swaying inside a bell jar. It creeps me out. But you do you.
Can I do that?
Yeah, you lift the top of the bell jar off, and there's a small little sapling there. That's very very nice. It looks to kind of perk up a little bit now that it's got some fresh air with the bell jar gone. You take it over to the garden and find a nice little plot of dirt in the middle and scoop it out and plant the little sapling in there. Give it some water and some fertilizer. It looks quite happy.
Brilliant. All right, done. That's all sorted
Solid.
for the future.
Cool. Do you want to check out the wardrobe, see if there's any real
Oh,
food
there's
in
still
there?
stuff on the workbench I wanted to look at.
Oh, there
There's a
was?
page torn out from a botany book.
Oh, sorry, I just drew the whole book. I didn't draw a page.
Can we have a look at this botany page?
Yeah, it actually looks like it's from a chemistry
Oh,
page.
sorry. There was a botany book and a page from a chemistry text.
Okay, cool.
Correct.
Can we have a look?
Yeah, you take a look at it. It looks to be some recipes. Looks like it says silver plus lead leads to quicksilver. Sodium chloride plus essence of flame leads to quintessence. And quicksilver plus quintessence leads to gold, with a note in the bottom that says, essence of flame can be easily extracted from the red petals of dendrobium flowers.
This is what I remember from high school chemistry.
Yeah. Okay, cool. That's fun. I don't know what a Can we look in the botany book to see what a dendrobium is?
Yeah, you find the entry on dendrobium in the botany book. It says that it's a fast-growing and hardy plant with many different colors of petals on it. There's a little drawing next to it in charcoal with some beautiful black and white petals, but they make a clear note of that in the text. They also say that the plant is a perennial plant. It'll regrow year after year and is quite hardy. It's a beautiful plant.
Awesome. All right, well, hopefully it's one of the plants that we just helped.
Lovely.
Would you want to keep looking around this new fancy lab then?
Yeah, I want to see the wardrobe.
I'm assuming just before we leave the workbench, I'm assuming there's nothing like that chemistry set is a set of chemistry stuff. Unless we know what we want to do with it, it's not full of puzzles.
Yeah, it looks to be some Bunsen burners, flasks, beakers that are there, kind of set up for some kind of experiment. You're not sure what it is.
Cool.
But you don't see any ingredients there for like doing some kind of chemistry experiment.
Wonderful.
Sweet.
All right, let's check the wardrobe as you say.
Okay.
Sounds good. There's a large wardrobe in the corner made of sturdy wood, and 2 large doors that swing open, but they are currently shut and locked with a 3-digit lock. And on the front, there is a small plaque that shines in the sunlight. It says, "From Catherine, so you will always remember."
I mean, I hope it's still 158. Is it still 158?
You dial in 158, and the wardrobe does indeed unlock. Inside this wardrobe, on one side there's a series of shelves, while the other is open at the bar with top for hangers. There's 2 coats that hang here, both crisp and neat. The shelves, however, are full of a myriad of items. On some, you see some spare chemistry equipment, beakers, flasks, and Bunsen burners again. On another shelf, you see some gardening supplies as well. Gloves, trowels, a small pail, and some other various items.
We probably should have used those.
You look down at your very dirty hands going, yeah, there's some gloves that would be nice, but, we at least made a mustache.
Was there food on any of them?
The shelf you remember seeing in the other wardrobe, that shelf is still here, but it seems to be totally empty in this wardrobe.
Interesting. She hasn't gone shopping yet. Does that mean her message isn't there on the blackboard?
Oh yeah, let's check. So hold on, just quickly before we leave the wardrobe.
Yeah, I'm doing my thought jumps, not my escape room jumps.
There was some like science equipment, some gardening equipment, no food, and then there were these 2 coats that are now non-moth coats.
Yes.
Can we now recheck these coats in the past and see if they've got anything that is interesting and not a moth in them?
You reach into the coats of the pockets, and you do not find moths, but this time you do find a book of matches.
Nice.
I am insulted by your disparaging of my moths. Alright.
You can have all the moths. They're not my favorite.
Oh boy.
I'm trying to draw a box of matches.
Yeah, with the person on the front like our matchboxes have.
Oh, classic redhead matches?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did not work. It sort of looks like a side silhouette of George Washington.
That's all it is. Alright, so anything else you want to do in this wardrobe, or should we check out the B-board?
I think that I think my curiosity is satisfied. Except, yeah, I want to see the blackboard again.
Let's check out that B-board.
Sounds good. The blackboard here has a large pile of chalk on its tray. Its surface is covered again in those complex mathematics that you don't understand. And off to the side of the blackboard, there's a short list titled Shopping.
Love it.
Written there in chalk is milk, eggs, butter, bread, and cheese. Taped near the list, you see a short memo.
Milk, eggs, butter, bread, and cheese?
Yeah, I think so.
Milk, eggs, butter, bread, and cheese.
Love it.
Okay. What do we need to add to that list that we want in the future?
Oh, that's interesting.
Like, if we wrote enriched uranium at the end of that, then when we go to the future, in the wardrobe, there'll be some enriched uranium that she brought, because it was on his list.
I like that. That's curious. I wonder what we're gonna have to
So
do
if we
with
find,
that.
if we think it's something we need, we should add it to the list.
Okay.
And we can have it in
That's
the future.
Fun.
What's in the memo that's attached?
Yes, you take a look at the memo. It says this. There it goes. After much research, it is believed one can rearrange the base components of nearly any element or compound to its nearest ascendant material. One must simply combine the ingredients in a vessel filled with water and wait. This process, however, is impractical to everyday use, as an inordinate amount of time is necessary for the base components to rearrange properly, more than one lifetime. Nevertheless, I shall document my discoveries of these base components and the materials into which they would transform.
Lovely.
Great, so we're going to start the process now, jump to the future, and hope it's done?
Yes. Except we still don't know how to jump back to
No,
the
we'll
future
need
yet.
to go back to the
I mean, there are still a few things that we
to
can
this
do.
thing. Hopefully for people that's a little bit nicer. I can now open this and you can see the whole thing.
Also, did we say that? Thank you for following, Pizza Beth. All right. What would you... Messing with the window.
I'm just messing with the window. Does that still open properly? Not quite.
I mean, it's not really cutting anything off. That.
Oh, look
Okay.
at that. How much nicer is that?
Yeah, okay, that's more visible. Whatever. I guess you should cater to the audience. Alright.
Okay, so,
Cool, so that's good to know. Is there anything specifically in that note that we should be paying attention to right
Yeah,
this
what-
second? Or
let's-
is it just something to keep in mind when we know what we've got to do? Vessel filled with water, good to know.
yeah, it just feels like it's the nearest ascendant material. I think that's just we can do this stuff.
Okay,
If we
those
want
are
some
the ascendant
gold,
materials.
maybe. And so if we set all this up,
Gonna have to do lots of jumping back and forth.
yeah, we might be able to do that.
That's cool.
Cool. All right. Well, let's check out the furnace before the machine, maybe, just because it feels less important.
Okay, sure.
Let's check out the furnace.
Okay, we'll go in order of what
Save
feels
the-
important.
Save the important thing for last. Yep. The furnace is a magnificent brick kiln. There's a door that opens to a roaring fire and a stone table that's inside. Outside the kiln, you see a stack of ceramic crucibles designed to aid in the melting of material. Next to those stands a set of molds for various items. In a small container, you also find scrap bronze, lead, and steel.
Excellent. I was just wondering where we were going to find silver and lead. Fly, please do not be a bother. Okay, bronze, lead, and steel. I wanted to just use like chemical symbols for that, but two of those are not elements.
True.
All right, good to know.
Fe plus whatever else goes into steel.
All right, I am going to take one of the gardening gloves from the cupboard and use that to handle that lead and put it in my pocket. Lead isn't the worst, but, you know, still...
So, safety first, though. Very important. Yes. You head to the wardrobe, grab a glove, and add a bar of lead to your pocket.
Gotta say, also, have you handled, like, a sheet lead?
No, I've never handled sheet
It's
lead.
fun. It's soft.
That's fun.
It's weird. It's soft. You can, like, squish it around and stuff. It's softer than any of the other metals. It's not like a sheet of iron or something.
That's fun. I'm going to just quickly let the dog out.
Okay.
Dog paws.
Don't solve any
yeah,
puzzles while I'm gone.
I suppose that's the same as mercury. Lead and mercury, they could not be more fun to picture handling in your bare hands. But you shouldn't.
But the worst things to handle. Yep, yep.
But yeah, that's tempting. Oh. But all right.
Well, you have safely placed the lead in your pocket.
Lovely.
Nothing to worry about.
My pocket without the holes in it.
Yes.
Okay. So that seems good. Good to know. We've got fire. It feels like we don't really need the plant to make essence of flame when we've got flame, but whatever. Okay. Now, I would like to shove what I think the order of importance is, because I really don't know. I want to check out the door that was previously all barricaded.
Oh, the red door?
With rubble, yeah.
Yeah, the door opposite the archway, it's locked. You do notice that the doorknob and keyhole are decorated in an intricate golden ornamentation.
Haha, get that gold!
You notice that slid under the door, you see a small note as well.
Love it.
Oh, can we reach it?
Yeah, you scoot that note out from under the door, and it says, "I've discovered an interesting mechanical wonder. Locks that don't activate based on positions of teeth on their key, but on the chemical makeup of the key itself.
Ooh.
It seems to work best if the key's material matches the lock's material. I've installed one of these on the door to my office, and we'll test it out in the coming months."
That's so video game without the video game specifying it. Like, you find a gold key, it goes in the gold lock. Like, that goes all the way back to, like, Doom, doesn't it? Blue gem goes in blue gem hole.
Yeah. Are they gems or key cards in Doom?
Good question.
Because key cards.
I immediately went
Oh,
to
both,
gems.
I think, right?
Now I don't know if we need to use gold to make a key to open this door, or whether we just need to steal this door handle and melt it down for the gold.
Well, if you steal a door handle, you wouldn't be able to open the door again.
That's true.
Yeah, who needs doors when we've got gold? Alright.
Should we check the blue door? See what sort of
Yeah,
lock
what's up
it's
with
got?
the blue door?
You head over to the blue door and reach out to open it, but as you do, your arm disappears up to your elbow as if it's not there. You instinctively jerk it back and your hands come back, but as you look around, you've been feeling a bit strange the last couple of minutes, but now you notice your hands have been kind of slowly disappearing,
Oh,
your
man.
feet are slowly disappearing. It looks like you might be slowly fading away. You'll
Fine,
have to-
we'll check the machine.
You ignore the fact that you're slowly fading away and head over to the machine.
Not in the
it's-
in the picture that I'm drawing. I don't.
Well, I'm fading away, my whole true love. Fading away, fading away
got
in
no
the
hands.
morning.
They got no hand. I mean, in mine it looks a little bit more like a bloody stump than it should, but yeah, I've drawn a little person, very little person. Oh my god, can I even find it on here? Look, there they are. Little person, they're looking up in horror as they have no hand.
That's exactly it.
Alright, so let's go check out the machine.
I'm playing all the guitars.
The intricate machine has a number of parts to it, and it doesn't seem to be powered at this time, as the cogs and wheels aren't spinning. I've added an image of it as well, in case you're stuck on the map section. There's a large glass reservoir here that's completely empty, and a number of... below that, there's a metal plate positioned below the very center of the reservoir. Above the reservoir, there's a number of pipes. There's one that leads directly up and has a cap on the top that screws off. Another leads to a large control panel with 8 dials. Above that panel, there's a gauge and a small plaque. There's also a large cable that's connected from this machine to the archway. And in case it's too small for you to read, each of those dials does have a number on them. They are 50, 35, 21, 15, 13, 9, 7, and 6.
Lovely. And what does that plaque seem to say?
You take a look at the plaque, and it says... exactly 150 megapascals in steam power required to start machine.
That's what I was hoping.
Oh, we're gonna just like turn on some of these to try and get them to add up to exactly 150?
Let's find out. So can I give that first one, the one that says 50, a bit of a spin and see what happens to the dial?
Yeah, you give the dial a spin. It looks like it turns about a half turn and kind of rests into place there. But as you do that, you don't really notice anything else happening. The the gauge doesn't increase. Nothing else in the machine happens. It looks like the machine isn't currently powered.
That presumably it's steam power, right? So we need to fill this vial with water and then get some heat or something.
That makes sense.
So that big giant glass container, glass vessel. Do we have water to fill that with? We had water near the plants, didn't we?
There was a hose over by the garden. Yes.
Can we fill it up with water?
You head over to the garden and grab the hose and start to march it over to the machine, and then it kind of yanks you back. You realize the hose is only looks like it reaches
that's fine. There's a bucket in the wardrobe, so we'll fill the bucket and then take it over.
I did not draw that. I just was too busy drawing gardening gloves.
You head over to the wardrobe and you do dig through the gardening gloves and trowels and the little rake thing that no one really knows what it does, and you do find a bucket, a little wooden bucket. Take that over to the hose and start filling it up, and it's filling up a lot more slowly than you'd imagine, and your feet are kind of wet now all of a sudden. You look around the side of the bucket, it's like there's like a thumb-sized hole in the side of the bucket.
Well, we stick our thumb in it. Oh, we don't have a thumb anymore. Oh no!
You stick your slightly ghostly thumb in there. It still works into the hole in the bucket and stop most of the water from coming out as it slowly fills up, and then you awkwardly kind of trudge over to the machine with this bucket with your thumb in it and start filling up the reservoir. Looks at the reservoir. A couple trips of that, the reservoir is filled with water.
Suddenly, I split in two. Now there's two of me taking buckets of water over to fill this up. And soon, there's even more and more of me. You don't even know what to do about it anymore, Danny. You try and stop me, I just walk right over you. I take 2 buckets and I'm going back and forth. Soon the whole lab is filled with water. You're standing on a big rock. You're making waves appear. Suddenly, Jens Sid arrives. He's mad. He says, "What do you do with my hat, you stupid little So, now that that's filled, can we take the Bunsen burner, maybe, to heat it up? Because we need something to actually turn it into steam, right?
Would there be somewhere to plug the Bunsen burner in here so that works? I mean, we've got a lot of access to fire now.
We do. Do we need something to heat it up? Like, if we try and turn it now, is it going to just take water from the thing, or do we actually need to start making it hot?
It looks like, you go check the Bunsen burners out. It looks like they're self-contained Bunsen burners. They've got the a fuel source kind of in the bottom of them as well. It looks like you could utilize that if you wanted to.
Yeah, let's Bunsen it up. We've got the matches from the coat so we can light it. Mm-hmm. We Bunsen it. We put it underneath this this big old flask, and we Bunsen it up.
Sounds good. You put the Bunsen burner under there, and after a bit, you see the water inside this vessel start to form some bubbles on the side, and then turn into a rolling boil as the inside of the flask starts to fill up with some steam. You see the steam pass down the tube into the machine, and as you do, you see the gauge on top of the machine. The dial starts to activate and slowly rises up and rests on 50 as the little light next to the first gear that you turned earlier turns on.
All right. So the question now we have is what collection of these numbers adds up to 150.
Okay, now, correct me if I'm wrong, these numbers pair very nicely together. So I just did some quick adding.
Oh, because we got...
So we've got a 35 and a 15.
So that's another 50.
A 21 and a 9.
That's 30.
A 13 and a 7.
Is 20. So that's another 50. Cool. So it's 50, 35, 21, 15.
So it's all of them except the 6.
Yeah, it's everything but 6.
So screw that 6.
All right, we turn on everything except for 6 to get exactly 150 megapascals of steam power required to start the machine.
You turn all those dials on and watch as the gauge of the machine slowly climbs and then rests exactly on 150.
Give a dirty look to the 6.
You see the various cogs and gears of the machine begin to turn as electricity flashes across the surface of the archway. And then suddenly you see another warehouse beyond its frame. However, while your current warehouse is bright and warm, the warehouse through the portal is dim and dark.
I'm not ready to go back there yet. How do our bodies look? How long does it look like we can handle being here? Does it look like there's still more room for exploring?
Yeah. You're not. You've still got. You can see your whole arm. It's just, midway down your forearm, you can start seeing through it a little bit. It's a little creepy.
Gotcha. All right, and Jen. Not ignoring your story. I read your story.
I didn't read the story.
Hilarious.
I'm going to read it right now, live on stream. I was playing Doom during physics class in high school. I had cleared most of the level, but I needed the blue key, so I was searching around the map for it. I came across a part of the map that I haven't been to, and a monster jumped out of nowhere to attack me, and one of the people watching me jumped backwards and yelled in surprise. I somehow didn't get in trouble for this. Over.
I'm just taking a quick look. See? at some of the other stuff that we said. Cool, and that one was with water.
Okay, there's a couple of things I want to do.
Yeah, there's still some stuff to do.
Because we've still got the safe that we haven't tried that code on. Can we quickly, while we're still fading away, go to the workbench safe and try the code 2735?
You dial in the code 2735 into the safe, and the heavy handle on it does kind of give, and the door pops open with a loud creak. Inside, you find absolutely nothing.
But we could maybe put stuff in there for safe storage.
What do we want to store in there for safety?
Well, we could start the process of making some of this stuff we want to mix.
Yeah, but we don't have a lot of it.
No, well, we don't have any... Do we have any silver? Silver.
I've forgotten what everything was made of. There may have been some stuff that was made of silver.
The door was gold.
The door handle was gold, yeah.
There's
probably some bits and pieces of the machinery that's silver, but how much of that we could break off, I'm a little bit nervous about.
Yeah, what else is silver?
As you look around the space, looks like whoever used this laboratory really liked working out of steel. There's a lot of the picture frame steel, all the clocks are steel, the machinery steel. You notice a couple bronze things, the kind of plaques look like they made out of bronze, the one on the wardrobe and the machine, and again, the doorknob and keyhole are made of gold.
Well then, why don't we go to the door, so to the blackboard, and let's add to the list salt, so we can get some salt.
Okay.
And silver spoons, so we can get some silver, but it's also not too weird to just ask for a lump of silver. We've got the lead. The essence of flame I think we'll get from going to the future and checking out the flowers. So let's put on the list, let's put silver spoons, salt, and a mold in the shape of a key. Just in case there's got one.
Oh, we're asking a lot of Catherine.
Well, look, she'll at least get the silver and the salt if she can't get the mold in the shape of a key. Does that sound fair?
I suppose.
Well, let's add those to the list.
Sounds good. You grab a piece of chalk, add salt, silver spoons, and a key mold.
Yep.
And place the chalk back down.
Cool. So now when we go to the future, we should have those things in the wardrobe. Because she said, I went and did all your shopping for you.
I mean, unless the note now says, sorry, couldn't find that.
Yeah, that might also be true, but we can find out by going to the future, I think.
Yeah, that's fair. That'll be worth a check. All right.
And then we can come back, start the process, go forward, take that back, and keep, like, jumping and jimping.
Okay. All right, is there anything else?
Clock's okay.
We've done some stuff to the garden. We've messed with the garden.
Planted stuff in the garden, so that's okay.
We looked at the blackboard. We've messed with the blackboard a bit.
Yep.
The door made us die.
I don't think we need the furnace yet. That'd be for melting stuff down when we do need it.
Yeah, so I stole some lead, but the actual furnace itself and those crucibles next to it haven't done anything.
No, but we might like melt the lead down and put it into a beaker or something. We might melt when we get the gold, we might need to melt that down and turn it into a key in the mold that we're getting.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think we're good to jump back to the future.
Can I just see that list of science again? That list of science? Okay. So hopefully we'll be able to make quicksilver from this. Hopefully we'll check out how the flowers are doing, so we might be able to make quintessence from this. And then you're hoping we'll be able to get some gold
and then put the gold in to make a key out of it, open the door, and find a secret
behind the door.
I think that's a plan.
Okay, this seems like a good plan. I also made special note that there were just bricks laying around on the floor in the future lab, so if there's no brick hurling later.
All right, let's jump to the future.
Sounds good. At 77 miles per hour, you run through the archway, heading back into the dim lab. You get that same sense of vertigo again as you pass through. But you do notice there's one significant difference in this lab now. In the corner where the garden was is now this massive oak tree. Its leaves stretch up to the glass ceiling of the lab, and there's a few branches that have found small cracks and openings in the roof that have stretched out to the sky beyond.
Ugh, that was probably a bit bigger than we expected. How long has it been? Oh.
What has just happened here? Nobody can get gold spoons.
So we should have just drawn a picture of a prospector. Just going, gold!
All right, so let's start doing some future stuff. Let's climb the tree and check that hole in the wall.
Okay.
You climb the tree, scurry up there, and reach the small crevice inside, you see there's a collection of trash. Possibly it's the den of some like small rodent up here. But when you dig through the trash, and within there you find a simple silver locket.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. Guess they're not going to get us any spoons.
There's no reason to not give us.
Is there anything in the locket?
You open the locket up, and where you'd expect a picture to be, you instead see an intricately carved W.
Ooh. W.
Is that the... Well, hold on, let's scroll back up for a second
What are
here.
you looking for?
No, Herbert doesn't start with W. Okay.
Did you forget the name of the room we were doing?
I forgot the name of the person who'd sent us a note. Maybe they'll like, go to Herbert's lab. My name is Wampus.
Interesting. Oh man. Did we cause a big fight between Herbert and Catherine?
Yep, 100%.
And now he's dating W?
Now he's dating Wathryn.
Ah.
Okay, so we got a silver locket. That's done. Now, are the plants below us, are they now happy and cool?
You look below you, and it looks to be that same kind of pervasive vine-like plant that just kind of spread out through the entire garden down there.
Oh, do we need to do some weeding or something in the past to get rid of the vine plant and let the flowers grow?
Maybe. Did we see the vine plants in the past?
Maybe we should go back and identify what the vine plant is in baby form, and then we can maybe find that out.
That's fun. That's fun.
We'll put that on our to-do list.
Okay, but in the meantime, can we check out that blackboard to see how Catherine did?
Sure, we check out the wardrobe to see how she did.
No, I want to see the blackboard first.
All right,
I
go to
want
the
to see it
blackboard.
in her words.
You head over to the blackboard, and it says, I got most of the things on your list. The salt and spoons are in the wardrobe. I wasn't sure if you wanted table or teaspoons, so I got you both. And then she said, a key mold, question mark? I'm not quite sure what you want with that, ...
That's fair. That was a pretty vague request.
Yeah, that was our hopeful additional.
But okay, I'm going to check off salt and silver spoons. Is the wardrobe still open the way we left it?
It is, yes.
Okay, good to know. This is convenient time travel, not some of that like, oh no, it was half an hour before you got here.
So yeah, let's check the wardrobe and grab the salt.
Yeah, there's one shelf that's completely disgusting. It looks like there may have been some old food items here at one time, but all that remains are some piles of mold and goo. It's very gross. It smells terrible. But you do notice in the back there seems to be a little like a jar there. You kind of grab that out and open it up, and inside you find some table salt.
Yes.
There's also a little box that needs to be pretty crumpled in the side, covered in mold. As you open it up, inside are your silver spoons.
Nice, and we knew that they wouldn't die because silver is really good at preventing bacterial growth.
Sure.
It is.
Yeah, I just don't think bacterial growth was the problem.
You don't think that bacterial growth is a problem that makes things rot?
Yeah, I don't think Okay, I think like if you had a pile of iron which doesn't prevent bacterial growth, I don't think you'd be like, oh, now it's rotted away because it's been eaten by bacteria. I think it would still be a pretty solid lump of iron. Surely rust would be the problem.
That's a good point.
I appreciate your silver facts.
How tarnished is this silver? Do we need to put vinegar on the list as well?
No, we don't.
It's old silver, but it's still usable.
Cool.
Okay, if we go to the safe now, in the future, and open it up, is there anything in the safe?
We didn't
put
anything in it, did we?
No, but maybe somebody else did in between the past and the future.
Sure.
You spin the same combination 2735 into the safe, pop it open, and in this safe you find again absolutely nothing.
All right.
Awesome.
Go back to old room. Pardon me. Sorry. All right. So,
Why?
what are we doing now?
Not that.
My cheeks hurt over here a little bit from laughing and smiling so much.
Oh yeah, been
yeah.
there.
This is great. Yep.
The pain smile.
Okay, so we could now, if we went to the past, we've got silver and salt and lead.
Yep.
We have a way back to the past because we can power. We now know how to power up the portal both ways.
Yep. Oh yeah, is the thunder and lightning still going? Is it still zapping and opening for us?
In the dim lab, yeah, looks like that lightning rod's being hit every couple minutes or so as you
Nice.
take a look at it.
Okay, so yeah, we could make Quicksilver as far as we know. We can mess with that.
I reckon we got to go back and get rid of this invasive weed
Okay, we
species.
got to go back.
So
and
should
try
we go
to
back
deal
to
with
the
this kind of
past?
business. Yeah, maybe. Yep, sure. All right, back to 1955.
It's gone backwards. Yeah, all right, let's go back to let's go back to the 50s and let's check out what's going on back in the past.
Yeah, you head back to the Bright Lab, and it looks to be exactly as you left it.
Was
Cool.
the winch there in the past?
No, there was no past winch.
Gotcha.
No winch.
Okay, so we're back in the past. Can we check in the botany book for like, based on and see if we can find that invasive weed species that we saw in the future?
Yeah. Any pictures?
Yeah, you look through. There's a whole section on vine-like plants, and start to page through the pages, and you notice there's one picture that looks to be very similar to the vines that you saw. The leaf shape is pretty much the same. It's and it describes the plant. It says it's euphorbia, a fast-growing and hardy plant.
All right. How do we murder it?
The book doesn't have any descriptions. It says that you don't need to do a lot to let this plant grow. It seems to grow pretty well on its own. But this botany book seems to help you grow plants rather than murder plants.
Yeah, weird. Who could have seen that coming?
Does it have like, if we compare the pictures in the botany book to what's currently in the garden in the past, is there a way of looking at like identifying if any of the plants that are in there are this invasive weed thing?
Yeah, all the plants in the garden seem to be little sproutlings that were planted a few days ago, but they all are labeled with the what the plants are, with their Latin names on them.
Oops.
Oh, brilliant! Is there a dendrobium?
There's about a dozen dendrobium plants over by the blackboard side of the garden, kind of all
Nice.
planted there.
And any euphorbias?
You search through the garden to find euphorbia, and there's a single euphorbia plant in the front middle.
We take it out.
No, I salt it.
We salt it. We cover it in salt.
You douse it in a lot of your salt there in the plant. You see the couple little sproutling leaves start to wilt and droop. It looks so sad.
We bring out all the moths that we
write-
brought back from the future. We get them to lay eggs on it and send some caterpillars to eat it. Is that what happens with caterpillars?
Cover it with all the bugs you can find.
Yeah, but we specifically on that one. We put the bell jar on top of it so it doesn't get the oxygen.
I write on the blackboard, sorry, got carried away.
I also, next to back on the blackboard, next to where it says key mold, I put 2 exclamation marks and I say, incredibly important. Life's work depends on this key mold. If we cannot get key mold, don't bother coming back. I'm leaving you for W.
You start to write on the board that math is getting in the way, so you just erase the math.
Yeah,
That's
math.
not important.
I erase all of the
no.
maths, and then I make a note saying, wondering why I erased this? It's because it's not as important as this key mold.
We return, there is no future.
I replaced the solutions to all the equations in the maths section with just the words key mold.
The blackboard is now covered in just the ravings of a madman. It says key mold, key mold, key mold everywhere. It's all covered.
Perfect. All right, good.
You caused a paradox.
A most ingenious paradox. Paradox.
Docked.
Okay.
Very good. Yep.
So
The obligatory Gilbert and Sullivan has been summoned. Perfect.
Hold on. Oh, was there Doug? He's right behind us.
Hey, dog.
Hey, boy.
Is this a tail? There it is.
There you go, little tail.
All right, so now that we're definitely getting a key mold, all right, so we fixed the garden issue. So now when we go to the future, we should be able to get those flowers. But in the meantime, can we go to the furnace?
What, stick one of our spoons inside a crucible?
Yeah, can we like melt down some of the lead, melt down some of one of the silver spoons, and mix those together in a beaker and just leave it for a lifetime?
Well, then we should probably put it in
I'll
the
put
safe.
some water in it as well.
And the safe.
And the
Put
safe.
it in the safe.
Yeah.
Put the safe in the fire.
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, sorry. Just to reiterate, can we take a beaker, fill it with water, then take our silver spoon, put it in one of the crucibles in the furnace, melt it down, pour that into the water where it will just solidify again, so I don't know why I'm bothering. Same thing with the lead. Let those all sit in this beaker with the water. Put the beaker in the safe and lock the safe.
Yes, you head over, grab a beaker, fill it with some water. You head over to the furnace. Beside the table with molds on it, you grab one of the crucibles, put in some silver in one of them, another one you put some lead in the other one, melt those down, and then pour them into the beaker. There's lots of steam that comes out. It's lots of heat. The beaker ends up shattering because it's so hot. You wait till it to cool down, then put the remaining scraps into another beaker with some water.
Yeah,
put that into the safe. It's quite an ordeal.
How many crucibles did we break during this? Because
crucibles are fine.
in my lab experience, 8 crucibles break every time you take out the crucibles.
And they shatter. It's a disaster.
All right, so now we've got that going. So when we go to the future, we should ideally have some quicksilver.
Fingers crossed.
I should have just asked for mercury. I should have been like, bring me a thermometer. I should have just put a thermometer on the list. We could have skipped this step.
Because, as you know, mixing lead and silver is the prime way of making mercury.
Well, it says it's quicksilver.
We don't know what year this is. They don't know anything.
All right. Okay. Awesome. So, Back to the Future?
Yeah, so we can check out the results of our... Oh, God.
Yeah, check out the results of our experiment and the garden.
We're never getting back here.
Back to the Future.
Yeah, that wasn't what I was thinking of. I was thinking of your Blackboard ravings.
Oh, yeah, that too.
After a short montage, you head back through the portal. You do see that on the garden, where there was once that single plant dominating the area, it's now flourishing with a wide variety of plants of all shapes and colors.
Any red?
No, over near the blackboard where it was labeled as dendrobium before?
Yeah, you see near the blackboard there's a collection of these beautiful plants in a wide variety of colors. They're just gorgeous.
Red petals. Yeah. Red petals.
You pick all the red petals you can find. You get a good handful of them, and as you pick them, you notice your skin's a bit tingly. You notice the petals have this, looks like a light kind of powder on them. That seems to be maybe the essence of flame you're looking for.
All right. We got some red petals.
Lovely. Can we check out the safe?
Yeah, let's open the safe and check out that quicksilver.
You open the safe, and inside here you find there's now a different beaker inside. In that beaker, you do see there's a smooth silver liquid that looks to be similar to mercury.
Nice, nice, nice!
Wait, was this... We didn't make it. We just, like, did some merchant exchange?
Yeah, there was a demon.
This was?
There's a demon in the safe.
Ah!
Safe demons. You gotta always watch out for those safe demons.
Not again.
Bring me silver,
Especially
bring me lead.
Safe brand safes. They're always full of demons.
Ah.
Okay, well let's leave that here on the future workbench.
Okay.
And let's go back to the past. Oh no, let's check the wardrobe for a key mold.
Oh yeah, what does the blackboard say?
The blackboard is now completely erased, and there's just a big question mark on it. Looks like Catherine didn't have any idea what to do with this.
Oh man. Does the machine still look normal? They haven't changed. We didn't change the science.
Yeah, it looks like the machine is still set up and ready to go.
God.
Oh, cool. So okay, let's say this. There's no key mold in the wardrobe. I'm assuming. So let's go back through the archway to the past.
What are we doing next?
We're now taking the salt,
the leaf petals,
and the petals.
Okay.
Putting them in a beaker with water,
okay.
leaving that in the safe, then coming back to the future.
Okay.
Sounds good. Scooby-Doo style, you run back, combine those things in the safe, back to the dim lab, open the safe there, and inside now you find there's a beaker with a fine golden dust in the bottom. That must be quintessence.
Just... Beaker.
Beaker.
That's a test tube. Beaker.
They're small beakers.
Oh.
Beaker.
Sorry, or a test. Whatever item you put in the safe the first time is what you find the second
time.
Just
saying Danny is doing like a beaker.
Okay, I also did a human running around like this.
So,
Are you saying this is person size?
No, okay, so now I'm arguing again that you're saying the beaker is so big that the person has to wrap its legs around one end of the beaker and its arms around the other backwards, breaking its back around the beaker to try and grab it.
You worked in a lab.
You think it's a human-sized beaker?
How don't you know this?
All right, so now we've got quintessence and quicksilver. We take both of those together, back to the past, combine them into a single beaker, and then leave that for the future. Do we need
water for that as well?
Oh, and water, I guess, and that'll turn into gold.
Thank you, Jam.
Sounds good. You do that, head on back to the past, and yet indeed, inside that beaker is a small lump of gold.
It's a lump?
A lump?
Okay, I don't even care. I pick up that lump of gold. I've still got my gardening gloves on, so it doesn't matter if there's any residue or anything. And the key mold's dead end. I just try to smush that gold against the lock, against
So go
the
back
gold
to
lock
the
in the
past,
past.
go to the gold
Yep.
lock and just rub the gold lump
Yeah,
on it?
gold is malleable. It'll work.
Sure.
You try to rub it into the lock. It's not very effective. You do notice that next to the furnace, there's always been that table there.
Oh yeah, let's check the table. Probably there's a key
There
mold.
was a table? I didn't
There's
draw
a
that.
table.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, look, you can see from here it's full of key molds.
What?
There are a series of molds of different various sizes, many of them making gears and sprockets, which you can see on the devices in the room. But one mold is of a long, narrow cylinder, about 6 inches long, attached to a flat oblong disc on one end.
Yeah.
So we just did the equivalent of writing on the blackboard. We need a blackboard, Catherine.
that's
Get
it.
us a blackboard. All right, I smush some gold into that mold.
Yep, we melt we take the gold in the furnace, in a crucible, melt it down,
Gold's
pour
malleable.
it into the...
It doesn't need
No,
melting.
it's not that malleable. You can't just shove solid gold into a mold. And
Yes, you
No,
can.
you can't. How malleable do you think it is?
Malleable.
That's too malleable.
Where do you think the legend of athletes biting their medals comes from?
Yeah, that's less malleable. They don't bite their metal, and then when they take it out, it's like a mouth guard.
Look, I didn't get my phone. I didn't bring my phone over here.
You can't
So
just shove the gold in. You have to
Man.
melt it.
You could do it with lead.
Well, you can't do it with gold.
All right, fine. Pyromaniac here wants to melt the gold.
After a lively discussion...
Remember that
this is
scene at the
very
start of
awkward.
Lord of the Rings where Galadriel's talking about the ring, and then they do that lovely montage where
Sauron
Sauron
going,
just goes and shoves it into the mold. 7 for the dwarf lords. Yeah, it's a great scene,
Oh.
classic cinema. All right,
My poor cheeks. Oh, I feel like Barbie at the end of Toy Story 2. Oh,
I also don't know if I'm confusing Lord of the Rings with Conan the Barbarian.
it doesn't matter at this point. Yes, this is great.
But yes, furnace, melt gold, mold, key.
You put the gold in the furnace, wait a bit as it melts, pour it into the key mold, and now you have one key mold filled with molten gold.
All right. Does it feel like it's going to solidify sometime soon, or should we do one more, stick it in the safe, and jump forward just to be safe?
It's gold. It doesn't take 200 years.
Yeah, how patient are you?
I'm happy to chill for a little. We can just pour water around it. Cool it down that way.
All right, fine. We hose it. We hose the key.
You reluctantly hose the key down with water as steam erupts from it. And after a minute or so, you do have one solidified golden key.
All right, let's open the door.
Let's smush it up against the lock.
Yeah, let's take the big round end and just rub it against the lock. Yeah, let's open the yeah, let's do it.
You take your key and try to smush it into the lock, and after a few attempts, you do manage to slide it into the keyhole, and you hear a satisfying click as the door opens. You open it up, and beyond there's a small office. Books line all the shelves, and a stately, ornate desk occupies a majority of the room. On it, there are more papers and another picture of Catherine, this time with a man. On the table, you see another letter.
I give it to Danny.
Oh, okay, sure.
Danny, you read the letter. It says, Catherine, if you're reading this, I fear I've traveled too far in time and have not left myself a way to return to you. Know that I love you and will do everything I can to return to you. Yours, Herbert.
Billy,
Just below... What?
Billy, just before we go into this next part, answer me honestly. Are you Herbert? Have you been using me to get back to the past?
Oh, I thought the answer I had to give honestly to you was yes, I am going to write P.S. Where's my key mold at the bottom. So, yeah, I'll just like to deface this letter just a touch.
Well, no, we don't know. That might be already what's written on the back or the bottom. We're getting a little bit of extra info there.
Yeah, you flip it over, and on the back is just the word key mold written hundreds of times.
Key mold,
Different
key mold.
size writings on top of each other. It's crazy.
We got in his head.
All work and no key molds. So Yeah, so we did interrupt you. What were you saying?
Oh, after thoroughly examining this letter and defacing it, you notice also below it on the table there's there's a journal that's open up, and the final entry reads, March 27th, 1920. I believe I can travel far into the future and see what awaits the evolution of man. I believe the proper setting for my device is 64 megapascals. I shall try immediately.
Interesting. Now, I probably should make you aware, and let's not go back to the machine just yet. There's still a lot to look at. Far enough into the future to see the evolution of man. Yeah, he went crazy. That's too far.
Yeah. This feels like a Morlocks situation.
Yeah.
What does the H in H.G. Wells stand for?
Oh, man.
Let's just open up Google for a second here. H.G. Wells. H.G. Wells. Herbert!
He was a Herbert!
George Wells. This is H.G. Wells.
No.
He travelled
We're
to the
gonna
future.
Morlock.
And he saw the Morlocks. Morlocks! Morlocks! We're going to find some Morlocks.
Oh, we're going to Morlockville.
Hey, you know what every escape room designer always wants?
Morlocks.
Morlocks!
Oh!
Oh boy, you the worst. Alright.
I know escape room designers want fewer locks and more high-tech gadgets.
Okay. Alright. So. Can I look at this other picture of Catherine?
You look at the picture,
Don't encourage him.
Yeah, the picture there of the same woman that you saw before, you assumed to be Catherine. And there's a man standing next to her. They're sort of, he's got his hands, one arm around her shoulder, and she's got her two arms kind of around his shoulders as well. They're smiling into the, camera possibly at that time, yes.
Cool.
Just looking up his spouse.
Stop cheating.
Spouse was Isabel Mary Wells, but Amy Catherine Robbins.
Yeah.
He was with Catherine. I'm cheating. Look at this. From 1895 until 1927.
Oh man.
Her death.
She spent the last 7 years of her life searching for key molds.
Searching for key molds non-stop.
Alright.
That's what the W is for as well, right? Wells? And here's a
You were
photograph.
both just too good at this. It's like
H.G.
you've
Wells.
played lots and lots and lots of escape rooms.
And have Google.
Yeah, and have Google.
Alright, okay, there was the big ornate desk in the room. There were bookshelves. Anything interesting about the bookshelves? Or are they like too
There's
fancy
a
books?
series of books on here, but you kind of reach up to grab one down and you realize your fingertips are now completely gone.
Man.
In fact, your arms up to your shoulders are starting to fade away as well.
Let's blame Herbert. What did you do to us? What are you doing?
I'm just doing the room.
He's adding his own images. He's co-opting this.
There we are. It's good old HG.
Great. Okay, so, is that all we have to do now?
Oh, I have no idea what we said.
Well, 64 megapascals, trying to jump to the future
Oh yeah, let's
to
more
find
lock it
him.
up. Yep, let's go back to our machine and let's set it to
Okay.
64.
Okay, so let's take a look at how we might make 64.
Well, how do we get a 4 at the end? 13 and 9? No, sorry. We need 15 and 9.
Okay, so
Gets
that
us
would be
24. And then
Is
we
there a way to
need
make
40 more.
Not seeing it like that. Off the top of my head.
Well, 35 and 9
That's true, that would be
is
44.
44.
But
But we don't have a
need that 9
classic
to make
20. Oh yeah, and 13 and 7 is 20.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Okay, so
So it's 35, 9, 13 and 7 all on to get us to 64.
okay, can we go back to the shiny machine and turn off the things that we need to?
If you were casting for an H.G. Wells biopic, you reckon Russell Crowe?
You could do it.
Reckon Russell Crowe for a biopic? Look at this.
Pretty good, yeah.
What do you think, chat? Russell Crowe for a biopic of H.G. Wells?
Well, while Billy is staring at that photo of the two of them on the desk, I give the 6 another dirty look for being useless again.
Useless 6.
I was counting on
You gotta
you.
just have a 6 once in a while. It's such a perfect number. You head back and set the proper dials and watch as the gate transforms before your eyes. What was once a dim laboratory is now a dense forest of strange trees, the likes of which you've never seen before. From the portal lies a small dirt path, and a short distance down the path you see a few huts made of wood and leaves. After a brief moment, you see a man step out of a hut, look in your direction in disbelief, and then run towards you with a huge smile on his face. He's quite disheveled, but is wearing clothing you'd associate with the early 1900s. He rushes through the portal and stands before you, slightly winded. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm not sure who you are or why you're dressed in this strange manner. No worries. I am Herbert George Wells, and I thank you for discovering and reactivating my time-traveling device. He then notices your fading figures. It seems we don't have much time. Let me send you back where you belong. Herbert quickly manipulates the dials on his machine, and the portal changes back to show the dim laboratory your journey started from. There, that should take you home. Thank you again, my friends. You step back through the portal to your own time and instantly feel the rush of life re-enter your body. On the workbench, you now see the portrait of both Catherine and Herbert smiling back at you as you make your way out of the lab. You notice the archway and machine behind you both fade out of existence. Evidently, Mr. Wells decided it was better for the world not to have a time machine.
Oh, wonderful!
Well done, well done!
Fabulous. Also, I can't remember what Morlocks look like. Is that a Morlock?
No, that's a bull. That's an angry pig.
No, that's a mouse.
That's a little pig going,
I'll
oh no!
There. Now it's got a nose. Is that a Morlock?
That's a Gruffalo.
Never know what a Morlock is.
Oh, that was great fun!
That was wonderful. No, wait, hold on. Go back to the beginning. Where did we get the note telling us to come from? Where?
Greetings, I have discovered something that could change the very course of history.
How
I
did
write
you
this
get
letter
this
in the
to
event
us?
that I am unable to bring this invention to the world. If you are interested in helping to make the scientific discovery of this at every age, come to 3300 5th Street immediately. Yours truly, Herbert.
How did we get that?
How did we get that?
Looks like he sent that before he went through his time machine. Just in
Dang.
case. Just in case.
Just in case.
Didn't trust Catherine at all.
No, she was too busy getting spoons and key molds and all that stuff.
That's fair. All right, that was so much fun.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with this.
All right, are we gonna bring Jamie back in to talk?
I hope he's still there. Maybe not. Maybe he's... Oh, there he
I
is.
am still here. I was a little bit behind for a while because I was watching the stream rather than listening in the Discord channel. But I am back now. Do you mind if I drop our website in your chat?
Yeah,
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you can play. Everyone who likes this, if you enjoyed it, you can play all of the games that Trapped Escape make, because they have a few of these as well. We were going to play a different. We were going to play a Jurassic Park themed one or something that
Which
you
I'm
can.
still super
So
keen
yeah,
to do.
drop your website in the chat, and yeah, you can get more of that there.
You should totally play the Prehistoric Park one. Gabe Gomez, who is our artistic director, who does all the art for these, designed that one. Yeah, he if you come back and play our other ones, he's done all the art on them. We always get people to ask us who's our new artist. The number of different ranges that he does. We did a holiday whodunnit, which is very Seussical in its style and a really artistic chalk drawing. Pirates Plunder. He's done some really great stuff.
Yeah, he's so versatile. Really, really incredible.
Yeah,
We're super lucky to have him.
impressive.
Yeah.
I'm very jealous. Like, I'm happy just to do my stupid little hand drawings, but I would also like that to be a choice, not a necessity.
True, but it's also true that for us, right, because we run them as podcasts, the more images, the harder it is for
I
listeners.
know, but I would still like my images that I do draw to be good.
Yeah.
Oh, I would as well. I don't know if I can find some of my initial prototype images, and they are terrible. So I'm with you on that.
But yeah, it is true because that's one of the things that's slightly different about this compared to our show, is because ours is ideally way more audio focused because we know that the final product is going to be a podcast rather than an experience for an individual
We're not
player.
trying to make a holistic experience. Like, you who are trying to give people the at-home experience.
So it's been interesting to see people, because this is with a few of these where they and also with some of our guests as well, but with most of the people who are running them now as businesses, like
real escape
to
rooms
kind
for
of look
people.
at like the format that we were doing, but with a different focus, and so art has become more of a element of this. And some of the people who are running our rooms at their businesses during the lockdown, some of them were doing arts and adding that in.
Fair enough.
Because it is like a different experience when you're playing it as a individual one-on-one game as opposed to trying to make a podcast out of it.
Yeah. Whereas, I don't even know, like, just that. What do you use to make things that look nice? What programs make things look nice?
Procreate, and then lots of skill.
Yeah, I think he does a lot of his stuff in Photoshop and with a tablet. So yeah.
Never learned how to use Photoshop.
Yeah, I haven't either.
But I think there's a certain point where you just need to be able to draw a nice furnace, regardless of program.
Yeah, I guess.
Once you can draw a nice furnace, you could do it in whatever program you need to, I suppose.
It's even things like
Mark,
making
you should
a
just
line
drop-
straight.
You should just drop the Pirates Plunder
Oh god.
image, like the little town in there as a little teaser. It's so good.
Here's the Pirates Port town. It's beautiful.
Oh, I love it.
And the whole thing's in that style. It's
That's a wonderful
Yeah,
style.
it's really nice, and it's like a really fun additional aspect to these sorts of games that we obviously don't really deal with. But it's really fun.
Thanks. We've missed a couple.
There are a few people who followed.
Oh, thank you so much. Either WearTag or WearTag. Probably WearTag. That makes more sense.
Kumi, Muhammad, and that's I think the ones
yeah,
and that's all we missed. So yes, thanks for following. I hope you enjoyed.
Also, Jamie, I didn't know that was you in the chat. I was talking to you like you were a watching person.
I didn't know
Well, I was
I've been watching it. Yeah.
I loved the Tom Waits reference along the way. Bill.
There was a Tom Waits reference in there.
I missed that.
There's a reference to Rain Dogs when we mentioned there were broken clocks.
Oh yeah.
Didn't catch that one.
I almost made another reference to Rain Dogs later on, but I can't. Or not Rain to Tom Waits later on.
I was
can't
impressed
remember
enough that you got
what it was.
that you got the Gilbert and Sullivan in there.
You got Gilbert Sullivan and the Fantasia. Yeah, it's good.
That was good. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So, how was our run compared to other runs that people have done of this room?
Way too good. You were both way too good. It was great. Knowing instantly that you add something to a shopping list, that trips most teams up. That's something that we kind of have to hint at and get teams to. And I love when teams know it early because then they can play with it, which is exactly what you did, which is just a ton of fun. Yeah, and instinctively knowing to plant the tree in the garden, you essentially had 2 of the 3 ingredients you need to look for solved instantly. It was, you were. It is always obvious to tell when you've got some expert puzzle solvers, escape room players playing these. So yeah, well
also, good night, Louise. Thanks for
good
joining
night.
us.
Yeah, thank you so
Your-
much for being here.
overnight UK time. We had a little bit of almost training for this room because a
When
while
would
back,
it have been? A year and a half ago?
a year and a half ago. Oh my gosh! A while back, we had a room with a similar shtick done by Jen, who's in the
Imperiosaur
chat.
comments.
So have you listened to that episode of of Jen running the Eldritch Garden room?
I haven't. I've been working kind of backward. I listened to something a few years ago when I first brought. I had this idea of doing something similar to you. I was visiting a local escape room and was on my drive home going, oh, I want to play some more games, so I'm driving right now. And then I called Jamie going, this is an idea. And he goes, this exists. Listen to this podcast. And he directed me to your podcast. It's like, yes, this is a brilliant idea. I don't remember. Yeah, it was back, I think, when you were first starting, possibly. But and then I've been working backwards. So, no, I haven't. Yeah. I've got a ton I need to catch up.
It'll be a really interesting one to go back and listen to because so Jen came and gave us this room that was...
An eldritch time travel room.
And so it was instead of H.G. Wells, it was H.P. Lovecraft. But it was like a single room which you could jump between the past and the present, and it was like 100 years difference. So similar in style. So we had a bit of training of like, I want to go back, affect this, come to the future, see how it's played out, go back to the past and change it again.
So it was very fortunate that we had the open mind of saying, cool, we know a little bit about how broad the options can be with this.
I think it gave us a little bit more license to. I think for that room we had to sort of get comfortable.
Slower.
Yes, growing a tree was also a puzzle in that room, and
That's
so
true.
Oh wow!
And so like, and so going and being able to play around and have already gotten used to being comfortable playing with time travel. It was nice to come into this and be like, we know how to play with time travel.
We had to do a lot more of our first time experimenting in that one. Because like a bit before that, I had tried to create a time travel room and I gave up like 2/3 of the way through. It just wasn't working. I couldn't make it click properly. So I was very nervous about it. But yeah, so for this one, yes, it was a little bit brain breaking. So for this one, while there's still the panics and brain breaking, especially when it came to the doing of chemistry stuff, it wasn't as terrifying the second time around having to do that, as I'm sure most people who come to you, it'll be their first time. Might even be their first time doing like a virtual escape room, or hell, maybe an escape room. And so that would be a lot.
Yeah, because you picked up right away that you're like, oh, this is gonna be you like asked if it was a time or space room, and you're like, probably time. That portal's gonna open up, everything's dirty in here. Try to make it so it's clear that time travel is the thing without saying you traveled in time. But I'll put Eldritch Gardens on my list. I will listen.
Yeah, give it a listen. It'll be a really interesting one for you to listen to.
There's also
I'm going back to that.
I'm sort of relieved that I haven't finished my one out there, because mine was also, my time travel one was also science-y. But I never got that. I don't think there were plants in there, but there was a lot of fire.
I don't actually know if that episode was called Eldritch Garden. No, the room was. I can't remember what I called the episode. I feel like I probably called it the Eldritch Garden. But no, yeah, that was lots of fun. And it's nice to have the time travel be something with no like once we've opened it up, there's then no cost to it, so we can just be like, I go back and then I come forward and I go back and forward and back and forward, so we can, that's a nice level of freedom.
Except having the initial obstacle of getting back.
The initial obstacle worked really well. Oh, there's a link in the chat to Jen's episode.
Oh, great. Thank you.
It was called the Eldritch Garden. Great. Season 5. About to start season 8.
Ugh.
Wow.
2 seasons a year makes them go fast.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
I will definitely give it a listen. Thank you.
All right. How sciencey you? Like how much? Yeah, I don't know. How much science was in your background? Like you said, you had some maths.
Yeah, I've got a degree in mathematics. My father was a high school math teacher, and I've always pursued. I had that and a theater train. Like I've got 2 different routes of my background. So like escape rooms does a good job of mixing those 2 together, of the logical thinking of the mathematics and science and the creativity of the theater arts and stuff. So yeah, I've always loved science. Always find that to be really fascinating. Follow along a lot of like recreational math YouTube channels and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, nice. And is Wells a favorite, or was that just you doing time travel? It makes sense.
It was the first room that Trapped ever did was an H.G. Wells room, the physical room, and closed a couple years ago at this point. So when we dived into the audio rooms, I had. It was kind of an idea of like, I think time travel would work really well in the audio room. We try and find things that we can't replicate in a physical space.
Yes.
When we're designing these audio rooms. So like time travel is a really good one. I watched The Time Machine, like an early 2000s movie.
Yeah.
My husband is the movie buff, so I was like, I want to do this like time travel movie, and he's like, here's like 3 movies, let's watch them. And so did very similar
Back to the
you
Future
did with
1,
your...
Back to the Future 2, and Back to the Future 3.
Right. Yes, of course, the classics. But yeah, found that and did Danny, I know you said your arrow method, I think, of like writing down a bunch of ideas and then figuring out how they work together. Very similar, like I've got a notebook and just like write down themes and ideas from the movie that like looked cool, or I wanted to find things to work with. So yeah.
Yeah, nice. Our first 2 physical rooms were actually time travel themed, and we've kept.
Yeah.
We'd like to keep up with that over the course of evolving as a business.
Terrifying.
And creating more experiences, which it's been a lot of fun.
I would love to do more like physical time travel escape rooms. I like, it would be crazy to be able to create several good ones, but I would love to try it. It seems, I don't know, it seems like it would be cool. Like the walking from one room to a near identical room but different time in a real space. It'd be pretty cool.
There's a very neat game which I'm not associated with at all, called The Pursuit of the Assassin Artist, which is one of the live Avatar virtual rooms.
I think that I've been kind of told about that one.
Thing. Yes, it's pretty well known at this point, but I just want to say it again if that's the type of thing that appeals to you.
Sweet. You have been asked in the chat if you have a Discord.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have like a company Discord server. Although we maybe should do that. That would be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
I like that
just all
idea.
come and hang out on our Discord and talk about stuff there.
That's good too. Yeah.
Sounds great.
As a non-Discord user, this affects me in no way. Do whatever you
Use
want.
Discord, Day. Get on, chat with everybody. That's fun. Yeah, it is. As Jen doesn't quite point this out, but it is a bit funny that these two rooms are both they're time travel rooms based on the works of a classic author, set with plant growth and gardens, both created by gay maths people. So that's where we're at.
And both authors have 2 initial followed by last name names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jen,
So
I
much
don't
in
know,
common.
yeah, what weird vibe that we are both coming from on this one. But yeah, I definitely need to listen to this episode now because it's very weird. Yeah, especially the garden thing is the thing that's weirdest to me. Like I remember thinking like, what can you do in a time travel sense, and like having plants grow and like taking time makes that kind of clicked. And
Absolutely.
we played around with that some. Yeah.
Like, what are some other alternatives you can go with? Because it might just be because I'm looking at that pirate thing. The first thing that comes into my head, if you're going to jump forward or back 100 years, is you've got a volcano that exploded at some point, so now it's stubby. Stubby and dormant.
Yeah, right? Tree puzzle. It's growing stuff is kind of classic change over time.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Volcano room. I have a Google Doc full of other ideas for audio rooms, and I'm putting volcano room on the list. And if that happens, I will let you know. Volcano room.
Well, yeah, I had a lot of fun with this. It was nice to do.
Great to get back into them.
Clock puzzle was fun.
Yeah. Oh, that was great.
It's kind of like some are broken for a reason, the rest just kind of broke over time, I guess.
Yeah, I love it. And apparently I did exactly the right thing for
writing
writing
them
them
all out?
down.
Yeah, that was
the
very smart.
particular way I wrote them down just happened to work perfectly. So there was the initial clock numbers that I wrote down and just left myself a good amount of space to do that. See how many moths are on this page.
Stop showing off those moths.
Oh, I love it.
You'll find.
I hate moths. But I'm glad
Fantastic.
that there's someone in the world that loves moths because they do deserve love.
I find them, as far as insects go, they are not the ones that I find offensive.
I have a question.
Ooh.
I feel like when we did the lightning rod, I had a vague feeling that we'd skipped some hints. Are there something in the room that is built in to be like, the metal you found is a lightning rod, you should get power to this archway? Or will people generally do that when they see a cable, a doorway, and a storm?
Teams are pretty good with that. The hint we'll give is that it's continues to storm outside more and more.
I thought that the building storm might have happened more progressively if we'd taken too long.
Yeah.
Yep. There's one bit where I normally build it in once you open the wardrobe, and I took it out here because I was like, well, if you need it, I'll put it back in. It felt a little weird. And you clearly didn't need it. But yeah, we tested this. We had some feedback where people really liked having a couple early win puzzles and not too much distraction.
Fair.
So the wardrobe is the early win to kind of get people rolling, and there's not much else to do once you search the whole room other than that you got a lightning rod, you got a machine thing.
I did
so yeah,
feel that way. That I was nice expecting there's going to be some big location shift, whether it's a space or time thing. There's going to be something. So I didn't feel overloaded at the beginning. That was nice.
Yeah.
Was there anything that changed in any significant way in our run compared to how it's how the room's formula looks?
We do have a couple puzzles with multiple solutions.
Oh.
We wrote in the beginning when we did the wardrobe code, it was like we'll have 815 and 158 correct because if people switch the date or the month and day around, and I've never had anyone put in 158 correctly. And when I was like pre-reading it before this, I was like, oh, they're gonna be the first team to do a 158, and you did a double switch on me.
Yeah.
We've dealt with enough Americans. We know how their puzzles work.
See, I just make most of my date codes palindromes now, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, that's smart.
Palindromes or just, doubles.
Yeah.
And making like
Yeah,
the 4th
yeah.
of April, the 10th of October,
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So that's your cheat code if you ever do one of my rooms.
But I suppose that's part of of what works well in this format is you don't need to, like, it's not like a real escape room
yeah.
where you'd have to go in and change the lock if they're getting the date wrong. You just say, oh yeah, that's now correct.
Absolutely.
I have decreed that is
Exactly.
correct, and we just move on.
Yeah.
So that always
Yeah,
that
and-
works well.
No one will ever know unless
No.
we tell them after.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the other one, to tell you another one, is the clocks itself. You solved it the way I intended, which is one per column. But some people just read it left to right, top to bottom, and we take that one as well, typically as well.
Well, they're
That's
fools.
fair.
They're fools.
No, but
Right?
you noticed right away that the columns were in fours,
Exactly.
so that was definitely in our head.
One thing that I regret not changing at this point was I wish we had added some sort of Easter egg for when you checked the door. Because there's nothing there, but I knew you were gonna do it.
Oh, yeah.
That's
I
fair.
have a team.
We-
I have a team put crazy things on the shopping list. One team put a ladder on there to get up to the crevice.
Ah.
Oh, I love
And then I had Catherine say, I got to the ladder, it's just outside. And then she get to it, which was very
it.
fun.
I love it.
Ah, nice. Yeah, that's okay. We didn't need that much stuff with the blue door. We had enough fun with the red one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured there was a second door,
Oh, fun. Yeah. No, it was great. I'm glad we got there was HG just before the reveal,
Yeah, you jumped right in.
which was
That
fun.
good.
You are one of, I think, 2 teams I've ever run that has gotten that connection before the reveal at the end. So well done. Yep.
As soon as it went too far in time, I was like, great, that's HG Wells.
I like
Yep,
that
yep.
I didn't think about it. I just went, oh, it's Morlocks, but I didn't actually.
Morlocks.
That I've never heard that joke before. So good. That made me laugh while I was listening to the stream.
Oh.
But no, it was very cool. Now I'm just looking at this picture of H.G. Wells over and over again.
He looks surprisingly happy.
It does. Even for a man who got stuck in the future. But no, I was really great. Did you have anything else that was interesting that you want to ask about? I think it was cool to play through the whole thing. You know, we were originally going to do another one of your rooms, which is
Prehistoric Park.
Prehistoric Park, which we'd be excited to do at another time.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we could get Gabe, the designer and artist, to actually run that one for you if you want it. I'm sure he would get a huge kick out of that.
That could be a fun idea at some point. Oh, no, Badger!
Oh, we have to watch the VOD, Badger. You'll have to watch the VOD.
And then tell us all about your experience with it. So that we can compare. Oh man, we didn't even steal their coats.
We didn't even steal the coats.
Yeah. If
People
we're-
are total thieves in these rooms. People steal everything.
yeah.
I'm actually a little
You
bit
got it.
surprised you didn't steal the coats. Yeah.
Right, how much?
I have had teams put all the objects in their pockets, and then I get to describe them slowly waddling around the rooms, which is very entertaining. That's always a good one.
Ah,
All right.
Oh.
Wonderful. That was
Yeah.
great fun.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice to have you on. It was great to be able to play through a room. I hope everyone watching enjoyed it. It was definitely a lot of fun to play through.
I still have, like, before we wrap up, just a couple of little baby things to say. Like, one, I think if I'm picking a favorite thing, I did like the clocks in the safe. I quite like that. That's possibly high up there on my favorites. One thing to comment on that I found nice, reusing the steam-powered machine to come up with
Said a
different
different
numbers
thing.
for
That
it.
was great. That was smart.
I see, because obviously, like, people who like their numbers don't mind, but there are people out there who just see any sort of maths, even if it's just plussing, and sort of freeze up. So I assume that's sort of where a lot of the numbers worked really neatly together.
Yeah, the first one's supposed to be very easy. If you just add them up, you notice you're
Yeah.
6 over.
Exactly.
The second one, if you want a bonus puzzle, there's 2 solutions to it.
Oh, yay, there's another
Ooh.
one?
Yeah,
Fun.
there's two ways to do it.
Okay.
So what did we do? We did 35, 9, 13, and 7.
Yep.
What else? We could get a 4 with a 13 and a 21. That gets us a 4 at the end. What does that give us?
Hold on. How about these ones?
Oh, you used the 6?
Yeah, is there a way to use the 6? Hold on.
There
does
is a way
that
to use
work?
the 6.
13, 9, 21. Okay, so that's 30. plus 19, 49 plus 15.
Beautiful.
64,
So that's 15, 6, 13, 9,
9,
and 21.
Yep.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I enjoy playing around with numbers and things, so I appreciate that because escape room people tend to know, oh, don't put too much maths in your rooms because there are some people that are really thrown off by that. So if I do get a chance, even if it's just a small one, I grab that. I really
we did a room recently, a physical room that was just like one of the puzzles that you could do was just like, hey, here's a maths equation. Was that in the Sherlock room?
Oh yeah, yeah. There was, except it was optional, and they take it out for some people, but they knew who we were,
Yeah,
so they left it in.
Nice.
But it was great.
Yeah, it was a
Loved
great fun puzzle. It's so fun to just sit and do some maths in an escape room.
Yeah, exactly.
Coincidentally, I am also a math major, and my other co-founder of Trapped, who is also my mother, is also a math major. So
Nice.
lots of math people.
We got a lot of math.
at
Yep.
Trapped, yeah.
Does this mean if I have maths questions, can I just bug you sometimes because
Yes, please. I love that.
like it's really hard trying to learn further maths as an adult without a teacher to explain things to you. Trying to read it out of books is useless. They don't explain anything.
Yep.
Yeah, some math textbooks can be really bad.
It's very frustrating. So yeah, I keep ending up having questions and then trying to Google why maths questions make sense, and then I don't know, everyone is talking to a different level of human when they respond.
Right.
It's really hard to find the one that's right for you. Like,
Yep,
you can't
yep,
look
yep.
up any equation on Wikipedia. It just doesn't work.
Shoot me an email, send me a message on Discord. I will be there in a heartbeat. It's one of my favorite things.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'd also recommend, if you are interested, any books by the mathematician Ian Stewart. He does a really good job of writing math books that are like accessible and funny and good.
I will write that down.
Instat.
Lovely.
Oh yeah, Science Wiki is bad as well. Like
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of like if you're doing like actual sciencey stuff. I remember early on in a chemistry degree trying to find stuff in Science Wiki, and it's just like, oh, that's impossible.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I see. You were just basically copying word for word this Nobel Prize winning paper.
Yeah, it's just
Gotcha.
hilarious. The more specific it gets, the completely just like, nah, sorry. If you don't already know this topic, I don't know why you're looking it up.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, I really enjoyed that. I think we should probably
Absolutely.
finish it up there.
Yeah, that's probably fair. We've kept you for 2 hours.
Oh, I'll talk about escape rooms as long as you want.
yeah.
Great, yeah.
But no, it was great. I'm glad this very quick layout that I worked mostly.
Yeah, good on you.
When I expanded this, it went over the frame a little, and that looks a bit ugly, but that's okay.
Yeah, it looked good.
But yeah, so that worked out pretty well. So thank you for coming on and running that. I hope everybody watching enjoyed it. If this same time tomorrow, we're playing more Nancy Drew. If you want to hang out for more slightly less escape room puzzles,
Slightly less pretty as well. Damn, this
so feel free to come back at the same time tomorrow. We'll be playing more Nancy Drew. We're finishing up. It's still science based because we're finishing off Deadly Device.
finishing up.
Well, maybe
knows?
it'll be one of many more streams.
That one's if you guys, Jamie and Mark, are interested, that one's a lot more electricity based.
Yeah,
It's all about Tesla.
It's a Tesla based.
We have
puzzle.
already
Nice.
been inside a Faraday cage as electricity shoots all around us.
So it's been good fun.
Ooh.
Wow.
We've died many times.
So we're doing that tomorrow if you all want to come back for that. And otherwise, maybe we could do more of these in the future, just in general. Play other people's rooms on Twitch rather than do it more on our show.
if they
Because we have a lot of people who want to
if
run
they
rooms
wanna
for us,
yeah,
and
if they
a
wanna show
much
them.
more limited number of episodes as well.
That's true. I just don't want to get to a guest season and run out because we've already played them all.
No, we don't need another guest season. I'll
What are
write
you
the
saying?
rules. I'll be on pirate ships.
All right, so Jamie and Mark, you want to plug yourselves one more time?
Yeah. Visit trappedpuzzlerooms.com and play some audio rooms or other remote experiences that we have. You can order a pizza box from us that's filled with puzzles if you want to do that. Yeah, unfortunately, you need to be in the U.S. We could probably figure out international shipping if you email us. Email us and we'll figure it out. But currently, we only ship to the U.S. Yeah, we created something called our Retro Rad Pizza Adventure. It is themed for like 90s television cartoons and stuff.
Wow.
You're going to have to stop the plot of a super thief named Carmina San Francisco. It's like a mild spoiler. Don't worry about it. And it's a ton of fun. It's similar to other escape room in a box games, but it will take maybe 8 to 12 hours to finish. It's kind of like a puzzle hunt, actually, and sort of a little puzzle hunt in length.
That's really
has a website that's associated with it. That's my very long plug for Puzzles in a Pizza Box, and I'm going to stop talking now.
Rather than trying to badge you into international shipping, when travel is allowed again, we'll let you know well in advance when and where we will be in the US.
You can ship it
Fantastic. Absolutely. We will send you a pizza.
Brilliant. All right. Well, lovely. Thank you so much for that.
This was really wonderful. Thank you, everyone, for joining us to watch.
Yeah, wonderful. All right, well, I think we're done.
I feel like we mocked each other more than us versus the chat.
Yeah, come on, chat. Be more mockable than mocking.
You praised him for his puns.
Oh, hold on, let's mock it. Oh, yeah, of course, Pizza Beth would like a pizza box.
Just like Pizza Beth.
Oh, yes,
so on brand, Pizza Beth. Ugh.
Oh, Jen found it super fun. Ugh.
What a loser.
Quickly, end the stream,
All right, bye, everybody. End the stream. See you later.
Thank you, you're wonderful. Thank you so much.